Back with Grand Tactician Civil War Union Campaign. So as we left off the last episode, we had fought Battle of Danville, which was a pretty enormous battle right here on the southern border of Virginia. The Army of Northern Virginia was pushed back, and I believe that the way is now open to kind of move on a move down through here and take Raleigh. That seems to be the thing to do here in the east. I've made a couple of organizational changes off camera. So this Western Army, the Army of the Tennessee, their job, once their supplies all, supply is just an ongoing thing in this game, and realistically enough, I think. Their job is to engage this army over here, take this fort with the help of a squadron of ironclads up here, take Memphis, take Corinth, and if they can, to take Decatur. I want to give them 3 corps to do that. So I have ordered the Army of the Ohio under Lyon to back off from their position here, cross back over the mountains into central Tennessee, and once over in this area they will become the 3rd Corps of the Army of Tennessee, the Tennessee. I've created a new army here. McClellan's old Appalachian Army and Patrick's Shenandoah Army have now been combined. They are the 1st and 2nd Corps of the expanded Army of the Appalachians. And I don't know why I didn't create that army in Kentucky, but their army HQ is having to travel down all the way from Cleveland. He's got rail transport enabled, and Army HQs usually travel pretty fast. I don't think it'll take all that long for McClellan to get down there. I bumped McClellan up to the command of that overall army. I kind of lost my bearings here where they were. And from within that army, promoted Fitzjohn Porter to take command of that force, which is now the 1st Corps. And then picked a fairly decent one of his brigade commanders to take his division, and some nobody to take that brigade. So we've got 2 corps here for the Appalachian Army. I intend for these guys to continue on down this valley into Chattanooga. There's quite a lot of the Confederates are putting more troops and more corps into both of these armies. There's about 90,000 Confederate soldiers here between the Army of Mississippi and the Army of Tennessee. So the other thing that I'm doing is I'm going to take the 3rd Corps of the Army of the Potomac. They're marching now, or will be marching. They're headed up to Lynchburg to here, and I'm going to move them across to the Tennessee Valley and put them under McClellan's command. So we're going to have 3 armies, 3 corps in Tennessee, 3 corps in this East Tennessee Valley, and the Army of the Potomac will now be 4 corps, which I think is big enough. And then finally, we still have the independent Army of the Chesapeake operating over here. And I thought about just telling him to march all the way down to take Wilmington. but I think that's going to result in supply issues. There's no railroad through here. It's just this one road coming all the way down from Norfolk and from this port at Elizabeth City. And I think the better move is for him to go ahead and take Morehead City and take Fort Macon out of the equation. And that, with a port here, my thought is that that will increase the flow of supplies, and then he can come down here to take Wilmington, which has 2 forts associated with it that he's going to have to siege down as well. But right now he's in good shape for provisions and forage, and this depot here has populated. There are some provisions here as well. I'm going to go ahead and bring them on down to Morehead City and Fort Macon. Let's do that now. All 4 corps of the, I haven't actually pulled the 3rd Corps out of the Army yet. So technically there's 5 corps here. But the 4 corps, I'm not going to change their numbers. It'll be the 1st, 2nd, 4th, and 5th now. But they're all in decent shape, 100% supply flow, but they're just a little low right now on provisions and forage. And Keyes, having been the lead corps in the Battle of Danville, is still suffering a little bit of attrition. So I'm just going to let them build up their provisions and forage here for a few days. Quite a few supply depots in the area. And then we're going to move them down. I'm going to spread them out here between Raleigh on one end and Greensboro on the other. And with that, I think we can advance time. What? Wow, that was just like a day or two. Yeah, the Army HQs really do move pretty fast, don't they? We'll just move McClellan up this way so that both of his corps are inside his radius. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade both. I'm going to upgrade all. Oh, that one's already upgraded. I'm going to upgrade all these supply depots because necessarily they're going to have to travel all on the same path into Chattanooga. I can't spread them out for supply. Okay, this supply depot here is done. Let's upgrade that one. Okay, Raleigh is getting some forage and provisions back. Well, that was quick. Okay, so Morehead City, the port, is ours, and Fort Macon is ours. I'm just going to leave it. I don't think any Confederates are going to come back over this way. So And if they do, they'll run into Fort Thompson first, so I'm not even going to bother putting a battery in there. Nice job, Smith. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move Third Corps of the Army of the Potomac. This may be a little finicky. And that is Patterson. Okay. And now he is not the 3rd Corps Potomac, he is the 3rd Corps Appalachian. I have a funny feeling when I move him, he's gonna. I think these 2 corps are gonna have supply problems again. Okay. Now we get we'll move Lyon over to Nashville. Oh, I messed something up there. Let's just give him just halt. Okay. I feel like I've been awfully plotting over here with Grant's army this entire campaign. Okay, I think we can get the Army of the Potomac moving down into North Carolina now. Nope, now it's the 5th Corps is having some attrition. They're actually in worse shape for food than they were before. I'm going to move First Corps on down and get him drawing from this depot. That seems to make sense. Go ahead and upgrade that too. We're going to be moving south past it. And that'll take pressure off of this depot over here. Let's move the Army HQ over this way, make sure everybody stays within command radius. And maybe if I move Second Corps back over this way, that'll take pressure off the supply depot as well. Okay, I think let's get Smith moving. Let's get him moving to about here. Apparently he's going to go by sea. Okay, so is all this helping matters? Yeah, a little bit. Sherman's at least back up to 100% flow. He needs to stock back up. And Hooker's still drawing from that. Let's move him over a little bit further. Yeah, let's get him on the road. There we go. Trying to get it so he's drawing from this depot and this depot, but not this one. Or from that infrastructure point, Stanton Bridge. It's Stanton River Bridge. It's a funny thing, this river, down here it's called the Roanoke River, but further up it's called the Stanton River for a stretch. This isn't in game. I was looking on the Google Maps. But then farther up, as it comes out of the Appalachians, it's the Roanoke. So it goes Roanoke, then Stanton for a stretch, and then Roanoke again. Huh. Okay. Hooker's drawing supply from Raleigh. Is everybody inside the command radius? Yes. Okay. How are these corps over here doing? Okay. They seem to be doing fine. Let's move Patrick's Corps down the valley. That's being upgraded. That's being upgraded. Okay, I think we can go ahead and fold the Ohio Army into Get him moving over within Grant's command radius. Actually, no, I don't want him doing that. These two corps are enough to deal with this army over here and to take Memphis and this fort. I'm going to have the 3rd Corps come down through this route to Waynesboro. Okay, he got his stop order, so he can do that. And he'll probably have to put a supply depot there. That's usually what happens. Maybe it will help Sherman out if I just put him on a road. Okay, we've got Beauregard's Corps of the Army of Northern Virginia, 18,000 at Raleigh. And maybe kind of hanging the 1st Corps out there a little bit. Okay. Looks like Smith's supply situation is looking okay. But right now he's within range of this depot. Once I move him up on Wilmington, he won't be. But he's drawing supplies somehow from the Confederate Wilmington port, which is blockaded. That doesn't seem to make much sense. Let's see what his supply situation is if he comes here. Patrick and Porter, supply situation fine. Let's move Porter down to, what is that, Kingston. Clear all these. So I'm kind of setting up here for a battle at Chattanooga, a battle over here on the Mississippi River. in a battle at Raleigh. His supply level is good. Tyler's is good. Sherman's looking better. Hooker is good. As soon as we get Sherman's provisions up just a little bit more. He's still on low rations here. And his condition is back up to good, but it's still improving. It's not as good as it could be. Oh, he does have a perk though. Cartographer. Anybody else got a perk? Yeah. Keys does. Go with the flying column. Okay, 85% for Smith. Attrition on this fort for some reason. There's only 98 guys there, with a Union port right next to them, and a supply depot here. Oh. Okay, so here we go. We've got a concentration of Confederates here. Army of North Carolina, total strength 10,000. Well, that's not right. $20,000. And there's still 144,000 in the Army of Northern Virginia. So there's about 160,000 here. And now McDowell has still got 100 and that can't be right. He can't still have 154,000 after Patterson. After losing Patterson, he's got more like 120. Has to. Each of these four corps has about 30,000 men. 32, 31, 32, 26. Why is Hooker so low? Why is Hooker about 5,000 less than the others? I think maybe he had some 24-month enlistments that probably recently went home. Harney's brigade below 2,000. Yeah, and they haven't really seen the these aren't combat losses. I don't think. Yeah, there's a lot of half-strength brigades, and that's not all from combat. Huh. What's our manpower say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of in a whole phase here of losing 24-month enlistments. There's 43,000 more going home within the next 3 months. Well, we'll just have to put up with it. I don't want to wait another winter. And we're into September now. This little fort's got some attrition going on. Should be getting supply from this depot with no big army competing for it. Why is this a Confederate telegraph station? That doesn't make any sense. And sure enough, all of these cores are out of telegraph communications. Which I had fixed that at one point. It's even still showing the blue telegraph connection going through here. Abingdon is still a union. That's irritating. Ooh, yeah. He's got supply issues there. Oh, Lion is on Engineers and Mechanics 2. Construction speed 50%. I don't think I need to move the HQ. Let's move the first core up. Okay, Sherman's in good shape now. Hooker's now a little bit low. All of McClellan's corps still in a good supply situation. Kind of waiting for this supply depot to upgrade and get well stocked before I send all 3 of these corps along this corridor. Kind of running out of weather though. We got a month and a half. Okay, it's gone about 30 minutes. I'm going to cut this episode now, all that preparatory maneuvering, and I'm going to go ahead and start off here with going after the Army of Mississippi with Grant's army over here for the next episode. Thank you for watching.